welcome to the Walking with God in Nature podcast. Today we have on an awesome guest. I am so excited she's on. Her name is Jenna Lowry, and she lives in Utah, and I know her from, she served a mission and was serving in my area. And so I am so excited, and welcome, Jenna.
Thank you. I'm stoked.
Yeah. So do you want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about you?
Sure. So I was raised in Utah. I was born in Montana, and I got to serve a mission in Texas. So naturally, those are my three favorite places in the world. I still haven't made it back to Texas, but I plan on it. But I now live in southern Utah, which is like one of the most beautiful places on the planet.
Yeah.
Work in real estate, so I get to see a lot of those beautiful places traveling. And I think I'm gonna stick with real estate.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
You were selling cars for a little while, weren't you?
Yeah, I was selling cars in St. George for like a year. It was an experience. It was but I owe a little bit of that experience to being able to get into the real estate, get through that door. So It is what it is.
It was a stepping stone.
Absolutely.
Right? Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it was. No complaints.
That's awesome. Okay, I have to ask, what is the tale behind you from?
So in Gilmer, that's funny that you asked that. So when I was in Gilmer, do you remember Goat?
Yeah.
So Goat gave me that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I've had it ever since.
That's awesome. So
I totally forgot I had it back there. That is hilarious. So
wow, that is special that he gave you that. So what is well, actually I want to ask you, I know you do motocross. Is that what you call it? What do you call it? Your bikes?
Dirt bikes. I've never really gotten into like the racing scene, but like just motos. It's called motos, I guess.
Motos?
Yeah, okay. Just go on motos.
All right. I have kids, so that makes me think of Moto on, I can't even think of the movie.
Madagascar.
Yes, Madagascar.
Moto. Totally. I'm never going to think of it the same now.
Yeah. So tell us, so have you always been into bikes?
You know what? When I was little, I played a video game called MX Unleashed. My dad got us a PlayStation 2 and I was probably 8. And that was literally the only experience I had in dirt bikes. I was just like, this is so cool. I want a real one. I was just little. And then it never came to be because I did soccer like until I was 18, probably.
Oh, yeah.
And then I got home and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try something new. I don't have soccer anymore. So I got on we have this thing called KSL Classifieds. It's like our Craigslist. Got on KSL Classifieds. Within a day, I found the one I wanted, and me and my friends went and got it. So,
wow.
Yeah, my parents weren't super thrilled with me, but.
So, had you ridden a bike before you went and got a bike, or did you just go get a bike?
No. Yeah. I had been to the sand dunes with friends and whatnot. I knew how to ride 4-wheelers and stuff. I had ridden 4-wheelers for quite a while. Nothing crazy, like utility 4-wheelers and whatnot. Just things like little grandpas buy for snow plowing and whatnot. But yeah, no, I just decided I wanted one, so I went and got one.
That's awesome.
Earful from my father. So.
Oh yeah, I bet.
I still do.
I'm riding on sand. If I fall, it shouldn't hurt too bad, right?
It's so true. Sand is so much more forgiving than any other surface.
Yeah.
So that is a part of my
brutal though. Yeah. So you broke your wrist. Is it your wrist?
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, you can kind of see the scar, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's starting to fade, thank goodness. I get some looks for that one.
Oh yeah.
It's in a bad spot.
Yeah. So tell us about that. Like, how was that?
So yeah, I did that. We went to a place called Little Sahara. It is it's like Midwest Utah. It's over in Tooele.
Okay.
There's this giant hill off to the side called Sand Mountain. It's where it's like the go-to spot.
Uh-huh.
And so we usually try to avoid that area just because there's way too many people, but there's a super fun sand trail that we wanted to take. And we were with Tanner's little brother and his friends. And so you got to let the kids do the kid thing. So they wanted to go. So we all went over there and took this sand trail. And there's this crazy spot where it was like super steep and around a corner. And naturally, I'm the last all the time. I am not the best at what I do. But there's a group coming down the same time we were going up. And the kid in the front of the oncoming group missed the two kids in front of me, Quaid and his friend, and I collided with him.
Oh.
They were coming super fast. So it was just a spot with limited visibility. It was honestly just a freak accident. So I basically had a head-on collision with another rider.
Wow.
I don't remember a lot of it. And I think it was a 45-minute drive to the nearest hospital. So that was just a blast.
Yeah.
I had to hold my wrist like this because it was doing,
Oh my gosh.
thing. So yeah, it was a clean break between both bones.
That's good.
It was just gross looking though. It was like a zigzag. Like if you've seen Harry Potter, that's what it looked like.
Wow. So you're actually very blessed that that's all that happened.
Oh, seriously, like I have a friend. She also rides. She lives in Corinne, Tremont area, super, super northern Utah. Her little brother passed away in a head-on collision on dirt bikes with his cousin. So I consider myself more than fortunate for, just the limited amount of damage. I didn't have a concussion or anything, just a broken wrist. The other kid was worse than I was, but yeah, I never got a chance to catch up with him and see how he's doing. Like, I honestly don't even know his name. So,
wow.
But yeah, I feel like I'm pretty lucky.
Yeah. So going back to you saying that you just went out and got a bike before you ever rode it. That's one thing I loved about you is you just had this independent spirit.
Yeah.
And so I remember you saying, I'm just going to travel. I'm not going to get married for a long time. I don't know if you remember this. And then.
Oh, I remember.
So what happened? So tell us about, you met your husband's Tanner, right?
Yeah.
So where'd you go?
So this is fantastic. Y'all can't judge me for this. So he was my neighbor growing up. We've known each other.
Oh, okay.
16 years.
Awesome.
Like, it's been a long time. So like when I was 8, we moved to a place called Willard in northern Utah, just outside of Brigham City. And he was literally like, there's one house between us. So
cool.
I was a part of their little friend group, their little group of boys growing up. And that is also a big reason why I was introduced to machinery. So yeah, that's where I came across him.
Okay.
And we hated each other growing up until we were like in high school. Then I was afraid of driving, believe it or not. So I didn't want to get my license. I was just mortified. So I would go to school with this kid named Robbie. Robbie had a really cool slug bug. So I like to ride in the old slug bug. And Robbie and Tanner conspired against me so that I would ride to school with Tanner.
Oh, yeah.
Tanner started to come pick me up because Robbie kept saying that he didn't have room for me in his slug bug, which I was highly offended. Not really. But yeah, so one thing led to another, and all of a sudden I was riding to school in Tanner's truck with Tanner, and that I was probably a senior at that point.
Okay.
And we're 30 days apart, but
that's fun.
But he was in the younger class, so he had one more year after I graduated. But yeah, so eventually, like after we both graduated, we dated like just the year before I went on my mission. And then on my mission, I was like, yeah, I'm not really feeling it. I don't want to get married. So I actually wrote him off. That's the lingo, right? Wrote him off. right before I got transferred out to East Texas.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I'm an independent woman.
Yep.
So yeah. But then when we got home, it took me about a year to come around, but I did.
A year to come around.
Yeah. I needed a year of just like buying a dirt bike and moving to St. George and selling cars and just living my life, I guess. And eventually I was just like, okay.
So he rides.
Yeah, he does actually. He likes to take credit, but I don't allow him to because we were not like talking at all when I bought my dirt bike.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he doesn't get any credit, but he is my best riding buddy. So
That's awesome.
it's
That's
credit.
so cool. That's neat. You guys have such a history, like knowing each other through different points of your life. And
I know it
Right.
makes it a really long story.
yeah.
Sometimes I just don't know what to tell people. Sometimes I just want to be like, oh yeah, dating app. Because then they stop asking questions. Oh man.
That's so awesome. And that he's your best friend. So, and you guys, looking at pictures, it seems like you have a lot of fun riding your bikes and stuff.
Too much fun. Yeah, I wish we could go more often, but life is life. We're trying to, meet some goals with like finances and whatnot, try to catch back up to this crazy market. So
Oh, yeah.
But we do have a lot of fun when we do go.
That's awesome. So you kind of shared a crazy story with your crash. Do you have another story?
Oh yeah.
Life with nature?
I have so many crazy stories. So before my sister went on her mission, she got called to Lubbock, Texas. I wanted to take her out with me to go to the sand dunes. And we went to the sand dunes up in Idaho called St. Anthony Sand Dunes. They're probably still my favorite to this day. But right before she went.
Why are they your favorite?
They're huge.
Okay.
They're massive. They're so cool. That and you don't have to pay to get in.
Oh, that's a bonus.
Yeah. It's a really, really, really cool place. Sand dunes are just cool. I've always had kind of this thing for the desert, but I took her up to not Little Sahara, to St. Anthony Sand Dunes, and she took my dad's old Yamaha Warrior. It's a super old, like it's been in the family since we were teeny tiny. But she took that up there, and I took my dirt bike. And
wait. So is that a dirt bike?
It's a 4-wheeler. It's super old.
I was like, your dad's into that, and okay.
He was when he was younger. He did ride dirt bikes. It's kind of been a part of the family for a while, and he's got a road bike now. So
okay,
yeah,
that's what I grew up with, road bikes and some dirt, but
that's my next thing. I kind of want a road bike. Anyway,
okay.
So so we went up there, and I just wanted to share something special with my sister because none of the rest of my family has really been involved in that part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's something I picked up after I moved out. So so I took my sister up there. We were with some friends, and I ran out of fuel.
Oh no.
I was clear out there.
Oh no.
Come to find out, there was a leak in one of the seals. They go, gosh, I can't remember where it was. I think it was the one that went straight into the carburetor, but it was just dumping gas everywhere. And I was like, well, this is. So I ran out on the forest end. And so our friends are like, all right, well, we're going to go back and get a fuel tank then. And one of the friends ran a 4-wheeler, so it worked out. So me and my sister were stranded out there for 2 hours, just waiting for them to get back.
Gosh.
We didn't see a single person the entire time. That's just how big the place is. But we were out there, and we'd just been sitting there for a second. And she was like, oh my heck, I don't know where my phone is. That's a brand new phone. Dad just bought me this phone. It was like the brand new iPhone or something dumb like that. And my heart sank for her because I know what happens. I know the consequences. And so we split up, and riding gear is pretty heavy. So we got a full body workout just walking through that sand.
Yeah.
But we were just trekking through the sand dunes in that area, just backtracking everywhere that we went, trying to find this phone. And at this point in time, I was like struggling in life. I was like, had no idea what I wanted to do. I didn't know, like, I was having like some inner turmoil about the marriage thing. I was like, I really want to, but I know like God thinks I'd be happier this way. Like he just wants me to like fulfill my destiny and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, and never do this. Never make a deal with God because you'll lose every time.
Yeah.
Well, you'll win. You'll win. I should put it better next
Yeah,
time.
you're both right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a win-win, but you feel like you lose. It was kind of a setup. But I went behind this little sand dune. My sister's on like the top of another sand dune so we could see each other. So I snuck around the corner of one and I just like knelt down in my right ear and stuff, took off my helmet and just said a little prayer like, okay, God, if you help me find my sister's iPhone so she doesn't get in trouble, like I will do what you want me to do. I will sacrifice my life for my sister's sake. Like I just really don't want her to get in trouble. Because I was so scared for her. I kid you not, I stand up and like I'm eye level with the sand dune. I could just barely see over the sand dune and I can see my sister's shoulders in her head. And she goes, I found it. And like,
oh my gosh.
I like cried because I was mortified. I was like, you're joking. I am never doing that again.
But like, now what's going to happen?
Yeah. So that was kind of a catalyst to getting back together with Tanner a little bit. There was more to it, but yeah, so that was a super cool experience. Just being out there in the middle of nowhere and, you know, just, I mean, that's one of the cool things about prayer is you literally drop down to your knees anytime, any day. And it was just cool to be able to have a spiritual experience in the midst of something people might consider to be like an extreme action sport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like when I tell people like that's one of my hobbies, the first thing people usually think is like a party crowd sort of thing.
Oh,
is for the vast majority, it's a pretty wild crowd, you know, people that are into motorsports. But I guess we're kind of an exception to that crowd. We always, I don't know, we always pray before we go on our trips and stuff, and we thank God for, you know, our safety on the way back. So it's honestly one of the most spiritual experiences I've ever had outside of, you know, like church or my mission is just, you know, my experience learning how to ride a dirt bike. So
that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. That is so cool. And that, I mean, to think about finding a phone, that's like a needle in a haystack kind of story.
Oh yeah.
And
oh yeah.
that's, yeah, God was just waiting for you to go to your knees to reveal that phone. That is so.
It was a setup. I still laugh at it. At first it wasn't funny, but it's funny now. It's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he likes to play little jokes on us, you know, here and there.
No doubt.
Yeah.
There's been a couple times on my mission. There were some funny ones too. I don't remember what they were, but he's that's just kind of the relationship I've always had with God is like, he plays my pride against me a lot. Yeah. He always knows. He knows everything.
Yes, he does. He does. And like you were saying, it is a win-win situation. Like he's just trying to help you progress even more. And we just have to get over our pride a lot of times, you know, and just will. So
yeah, my sister still doesn't know that story. I told her I'd tell her when she got back from her mission.
Oh yeah. Huh.
Yeah. I should probably tell her she owes me a thank you for getting
right. So are you happy with the results so far of that end of the deal, you know?
Yeah.
Life's
good. I've got a free mechanic for crying out loud.
Yeah. So that's what your husband does?
Kind of. Honestly, not as much as I'd like him to because he knows that I need to learn how to do stuff on my own.
Yeah.
So, but if I am super busy with work and whatnot, he will drop everything to just go and, you know, he did almost all of the maintenance on my bike after I crashed it because it was pretty messed up
But
after. So yeah, he does. He's done a lot of work on my bike. Been quite a bit.
well, that's cool that he has that skill too. I mean, you don't have to take it somewhere, he can just do it.
Oh yeah, every now and then there's something that we can't figure out, but for the most part, he's very handy with the tools. So
That's awesome. So do you have a nature bucket list? You
oh,
kind of,
actually,
what's that?
I do. I don't even know where to start with that, just because like where I live is, it's more like it's a bottomless bucket, you know.
Yeah.
I've been a lot of really, really cool places, on and off the dirt bike. Probably one of my favorite places off the dirt bike is the Narrows at Zion.
Okay.
That is a fantastic hike. It can get a little bit sketchy just because you're hiking through water the whole time.
Yeah.
But it's just, I mean, Zion, if you wanna feel the spirit outside of a building, that's one of the best places to do it. It's just one of the most magnificent, just towers of rock.
Yeah, it's amazing. And that is on my bucket list as well, the Narrows. I lived in Utah for a while and never made it down there. And
Oh man, it's impossible everywhere. And I've lived here since I was like 2. So
yeah.
yeah, no, it's definitely like, it's a must do if you're going to visit Utah. So next time you guys come down, let me know.
Okay. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But you have to go during a certain part of the year so you don't get washed away, right?
Yes. So monsoon season, we had a really bad one this year. In fact, we flooded here in town.
Oh.
Yeah. So there was a lot of flash floods. And so you have to avoid monsoon season. I think the best time of year, my favorite time of year to go is probably September-ish, just because like it's the tail end of tourist season. And it's right before it gets super duper cold. It's not too hot and it's not too cold. So I like September.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So just
on the dirt bike, I think some of my bucket list places, I'd like to go to the sand dunes outside of Dubai. That's my number one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you been to Dubai?
I've never left this country.
Oh, okay.
So when I do, I'm going to Dubai.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good bucket list. Yeah, I heard Dubai is pretty awesome. So
yeah. I've seen pictures, that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was another sister from the missionary went to Dubai. That's who it was.
Dang. That's lucky.
Yeah. Someday it's on your bucket list. You put it out there, it could happen.
I know, I'm gonna manifest it.
That's right. That's right. That's awesome. So do you have any other tips of how people can get out in nature and connect with God?
Honestly, I think just because, like, I don't know, like, nature is God made, like, every single part of it. You can step outside and have an experience if you're willing to. You don't have to go to some grandiose place where, you know, they can put it on a postcard. Like, honestly, if I just need a moment, like, I will go to the park, or I will just, I don't know, like, just anywhere outside is fine. Like, just if intention is to be with God, then you can be with God. You just need to create that space in your heart for it. And I think another thing that I've learned just from like being outside is how, I don't know, how mindful God is of everything.
Yeah.
Like, and one of my companions, one of my favorite things that she ever said during the lesson was that even if there was only one of us, only if he created one person, he still would have done all of this for us. Like there's just so much love in the things that he created, and it's just such a special gift to have. Honestly, I can't imagine living on this planet if it was just a lump of stone, you know?
Yeah.
Holy cow, I'd lose my mind probably a little. But I don't know, like, I think that's probably my best piece of advice. Just like, if you want to have an experience with God and nature, like, just create space for it in your heart and pick a place.
Yeah,
It's one of the best places to escape is just to be outside.
I totally agree. It is therapy for me. Just even step outside my door and just be
Absolutely.
outside a little bit. Doesn't matter where, like you're saying,
I
just
100%
nature.
agree.
And I
Yeah.
like how you put that, just find that space in your heart. And yeah, thank you so much. So,
Yeah.
Jenna, where can people find you if they want to follow your great adventures on Moto?
Oh man, honestly, you could probably just search my name in Instagram or Facebook. It's just, oh, what is my Instagram handle? I think it's JRL.Lowry. That's my Instagram handle. Honestly, if you just search my name, Jenna Lowry, JennaLowry, there's gonna be like dirt bikes all over, and that's how you know you've made it.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yes.
So you're famous that way.
Oh heavens, no. No, I don't know if I ever will be either. I don't post exclusively like dirt bike content. Like, I am obsessed with my family. I love them so much. I post a ton about my family.
That's
I
awesome.
post a ton about just thoughts that I have. I'm a very deep thinker, so I'll post a lot about my deeper thoughts. Sometimes they're extremely spiritual. Sometimes they're more logic based, or just factual based, just random nonsense. But everything I post, though, I try to make it so it's something that benefits another person, something that, puts a little bit of good out there into the crazy world of social media.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a special spirit about you. Just, I don't know. I loved having you here in our area, and just, I guess maybe it's because you are just very methodic about your thinking, and just independent person and love of life. You can just tell. So I don't know.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
miss you guys like crazy, you and your girls. You're
Yeah.
crazy fan.
You got to come out and visit.
I
So
really do. I
yeah.
really do.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to have you visit. Well, thanks for joining us on the Walking with God and Nature podcast. It's been so fun to catch up with you and learn more about you, and feel of your love for nature and just how God can touch you no matter where you are outside. So thanks, Jenna.
Thank you. It was good to see you.